Hello. This cold or flu or whatever it is, this bug, has been really kicking my ass. Like, it started a full week ago. Still, I'm better than I was any of those other days, and I'm recording this a lot earlier than I've recorded anything else, with the intent of sleeping a lot earlier than I have been. What has happened in the last few days? I put out that song, which was quite emotionally charged when I wrote it. And what day did I make that? 3 days ago. That was Wednesday, right? No, that was Friday. No, that can't be right. Three days ago, was that Wednesday? No, it's Sunday now. Well, either way. I wrote that song in the wake of something I had to do. It's not the first time I've had to do what I did, which was send something through the post to someone who I'm not in contact with. But much like everything else, it's the first time it's been like this. Yeah, I'm still quite angsty about it because I haven't looked at the tracking, but it was meant to arrive at its destination today. So I will likely never know unless I check the tracking if it ever did get to where I sent it. In other news, I got my hair cut on that same day, and the hairdresser, she cut it a lot shorter than we usually cut it, and she gave me a reason. She said she wanted to like even out the front or something, but I haven't had my hair this short in well, probably since I was about 8 years old. So it's quite jarring looking at myself in the mirror. But I don't hate it. And my hair will grow back as it always does. And maybe next time I'll ask to have it cut to this length again. Though that probably won't be for another 6 months. I only get haircuts once, like 1 to 3 times a year. And with how busy I've been, I just keep forgetting and putting it off and putting it off. And then, of course, when I get sad, I don't want my hair to be cut at all, right? who wouldn't want a natural curtain hiding their face? Not that I've let it get to that length in some years, but you know what I mean, I hope. I hope I don't sound like I'm talking nonsense, but this is my show. You can't tell me what to do. I replaced my light fixture in my office where I record these. And it was very easy. The hard part was finding the correct breaker because we don't have them all labeled, but the way wires for these things twist together is so archaic. Like, you just take the two wires and sort of loosely wrap them around each other and then twist on a plastic cap. And somehow, in some way, the plastic cap actually screws on to something that's not a screw threading, but it screws on like it is. And then that's secure, those aren't coming out. It's magic. Very magical. I think I only did that yesterday, but I picked up the light fixture on Thursday? Maybe it was Friday. No, it was Thursday. It's been raining a good amount. Enough that I haven't spotted any particularly dead trees or anything in the neighbourhood. I'm just mad I didn't give myself the chance through sickness and through terrible sleep to really take it in this week. And I'm afraid with the high winds that we're experiencing right now, all the trees that have bloomed are going to lose their flowers and petals before I get the chance to look at them properly. It is gusting quite a bit right now. I don't know if it'll pick up on mic, but my window is open a crack, and when the wind gets this strong, the whole house tends to shake. It's a funny thing that, right? It's like earthquakes. When you live somewhere with high winds, there's always that fear that maybe your house is going to blow down. Because in North America, almost all the houses are made of wood and paper. So it's a very real possibility, right? Tornadoes and such. Strong winds could blow a house down. But over the years, as strong winds have come and gone, and just every year it seems to happen, really, we get to now, and there isn't the slightest bit of fear. And seemingly, it's a similar sentiment with people who live in places with frequent small earthquakes. It's just a thing that happens sometimes. It's funny how our brains can adapt to like actual danger like that. Prolonged exposure to things that are frightening on a like animal level can be the fear can be curbed by frequent exposure. I think I just ended and started that thought with the same words by accident, but I'm not particularly awake. I went to work today even though I'm still sick, and it was a rough day. Not good at all. tomorrow is a statutory holiday, which doesn't mean I get it off work because I don't get holidays anymore. But I do get time and a half. So for a little bit, I get to pretend I'm being paid the amount they should be paying me for all the things I do. I heard from my co-workers that it was an absolute nightmare. The days I cold and sick, and most things didn't get done, which hasn't happened on a day I've been there in over a year. I've made sure of it. And the day before I called in sick, Monday, my laptop's revving up. What's that about? Oh, there it goes. The day I called in sick, Monday, or not called in sick, the day I decided I was Tuesday I called into work. Monday was one of those days where there was too much to do and not enough hands to do all the work. And I was running up and down the halls of the store, in and out of the back room, full sprint between tasks to get everything done. And we did get everything done. But running from place to place and lifting so many things and throwing so many things and this and that for 8 hours, I think weakened my body enough from the sickness I already had that I had to call in the next day. I forget why I started talking about that. I've lost my train of thought. It's so frustrating being sick on days off. Like, it's only happened to me once, and I was a child, so I didn't care that much. But getting sick on a vacation as an adult has to be one of the most soul-crushing things you could ever experience, surely. Like, I've never experienced it, thank God. But to have to schedule off like a week for like so nobody calls you, so you don't have to be somewhere, so you can finally relax, and then to get sick. Feeling sick is already terrible, but suddenly you can't do anything, and from that you lose like 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 days to having to stay in bed because you're sick. And then suddenly it's not like you took a vacation at all. You lost half your vacation to your bed. That just has to be the worst. I hope that never happens to me. I know when I was in Japan with my friends, on the second last day, or the last day? The last full day, one of my friends got sick for like the whole day after, and then I also got a little sick in the morning. But that passed, and I went on with my day. I don't know what he would have done on that day had he been able to leave the hotel. He was still very scary COVID at that time. So we had his hotel roommate get another hotel room, and had him staying there the whole day. I think we found a COVID test and tested him at some point, but my memory on that's a little foggy. I've come to a realization about my, just the state of my life. Because I hate my job, mostly. I hate how little I get paid, and I hate how terrible it makes my body feel, and how much of my time it takes up. And I desperately want to have a different job, or have a job that is none of the things I just mentioned. And I very much want a vacation. But I've also realized that if I took a vacation for like 2 weeks and went to Japan or something, I would be happy for like a week and a half of that, or maybe just a week, because I'd get stressed about planning for the like flight and the visa and knowing where my hotel is and where I'm going to be and who's going and if I packed everything. And then once that stress is gone, you got to get on the plane, and then you're in the country, and then you're jet lagged, and that sort of like puts a damper on the first day or two. So you're jet lagged, your brain's not working so good. And then you start enjoying yourself for a while. Maybe there's a few stressful things here and there, but it's all fun. And then the last few days of the trip, you begin to realize that it's all about to end. And it'll just feel like you haven't had enough time. And then you'll stress about getting to the airport on time so you don't get trapped in a foreign country. And if you were really conservative about where you, like how you planned your thing, maybe you left an extra day for you to decompress and readjust your sleep schedule before you have to go back to work. But maybe you didn't have that many vacation days saved up, and instead you had to really push it to the line, and as soon as you land you have to go to bed because the next day you have work. And that sort of beginning and end of it makes it really, really not worth it to me. I felt completely comfortable with the situation of it when I went to Japan because we had planned it for over a year. Like, we started making, well, not over a year, just under a year maybe. We knew we wanted to go like a year before, or even 2 years before. And then the next year we were like, okay, so are we actually doing this? And then in the summer, we started writing down places we wanted to go, things we wanted to try, things we wanted to see. And then by the winter, we had our flight and our hotels booked. And then come spring, around this time, we were there, and everything worked out swimmingly, except I forgot to do one thing with my visa that I had to do like in the airport terminal. I couldn't tell if the woman who was like stopping me from entering was glaring at me or not, because I looked like a bit of a fool. And I looked like a little bit of garbage because I'd just gotten off of a very hot and very long flight. Not having to work full time from the day before I leave to the day after I land really helped me like readjust, I guess. And it's a shame that like vacation time is so sparingly given out to people, because people need more of them, really. Like, out of all the months of the year, do we really need everybody to work all 12? Surely, like, if you had 2 people for every job, and this is like some nonsense talk, because anybody educated on these subjects would be able to shoot my ideas down. But like, if you had 2 people for any given job, like they do for things like reactors, where they need people on constant watch. If you had 2 people for any given job, and one works half the year and the other works the other half of the year, or maybe there's some overlap so they can exchange notes and findings, so there's nothing lost in translation or transition, then half the year people would get to enjoy themselves completely, no worries. And then the other half of the year they would work, sort of working and yearning for the light at the end of the tunnel, which is the other half of the year. As I've said before, right now, for me, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no end of the tunnel here. So, the point I'm trying to get to is, what was the point I was trying to get to? I think that I don't see myself travelling back to a lot of places frequently, like booking vacations for Japan once every few years. I think I'll go one more time for a very long vacation, and ideally I want to, the next time I go, not leave. My sort of dream is to either become self-sufficient through my art and being able to like pay for things, at the very least earning enough of a wage through my creations that I could afford to go on vacation, but even more afford to live over there. That would be ideal. On the other hand, I don't think it would be terrible to work at a game studio over there, because I love working on game related things. And I don't know, I feel like there's opportunities there for me. But stepping stones to that, fully learn the language, right, become fluent, and then I can put that on my resume and then apply at places, or keep pursuing my art and see where that goes. I don't know. It's a pipe dream, but it's a dream nonetheless. Doesn't matter whether or not it's in a pipe. On a completely unrelated note, I only realized the meaning of the word chiptune when it comes to music, what that comes from. Chiptune comes from well, it's like a type of music, right? When something sounds like it's from an old video game, like a really old video game, it's chiptune because it sounds like it's from the sound chip of an old console, and I never put that together, that the chip in chiptune had anything to do with microchips in old game consoles. But it just makes sense. I guess I never thought about it really, but well, you know. Oh no. See, now I'm trying to remember if I had said that I would do a guitar thing for the next video in the previous one. Because if I did, then that's quite misleading. Because I'm absolutely not doing one for this video. My throat's still not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I'm just not going to think about that for now. I'll come to that information when I'm editing, I guess. Here's a question. I don't know where anybody who's listening are from, but I know that medicines are not universal. Like in North America, we have Advil and Tylenol, which are brands of pain medication, and I think Tylenol. Well, yeah, the pain medication primarily, but they also have like cold and flu assistive properties to them. But what, over where any of you are, anybody listening, what's the colloquial term for cold medicine? Or the colloquial brand, the local brand? Because in North America, for specifically throat stuff, it's Buckley's. It got quite famous through its commercials, which were very deadpan, and quite literally, it doesn't sugarcoat itself. It's a cough syrup. It tastes terrible, like awful. I had some this morning and I could taste it even 2 hours after. But other places have other medicine names that I've never heard of. Like, I think in the UK they have Calpol, and Cave Town has a song about it. Did I sing that song? I think I did. I think I did sing that song. Maybe. Yeah, I did. That's the one I sang. Yeah, that song's about a medicine called Calpol, which we don't have over here, I don't think. So, that's the question I'm going to leave you all with today. You also have the option of just saying any funny medicine name you can think of if you don't want to dox yourself, because I imagine commenting on, like, mentioning something really specific to like one country would be, well, you know where I am, relatively speaking, so I guess it'd be fine, but yeah, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to. That's all I'm saying. I'm not strictly asking for where you're from. I just want to hear some funny medicines. Anyway, that's the question I leave whoever's listening with. And I myself am going to edit this and go to bed. Yeah. Okay. If you somehow managed to fall asleep in the 30 minutes I've been talking about essentially nothing, congratulations. I hope autoplay doesn't take you to something very loud. If you're almost asleep, have a good one, have a good sleep, sleep better than I do. And if you're just waking up, good morning. Maybe I should start making like morning ones. I do intend on waking up in the morning more often. And if I can do that, maybe I'll start recording some morning audios instead of evening ones. Yeah, okay. I will. Good night. Bye-bye.